Hello, happy Monday to everybody. Anyway, welcome to the Black Man Unfiltered Network, and here I am again, your favorite baby boomer with another show. And listen, since I'm old and shit, maybe I'm late to the uptick with my title about, women don't need men until they do. I've said this many times here, but I got some shit for you guys to kind of back up my theory. Uh, and it should be pretty interesting. You know what I'm saying? So, we'll let people come in. I got a couple of icebreakers. They're not really that funny, but I'm gonna segue a couple of things, and then I'll bring it all back to the show. Um, uh, Hopefully, my man 100 watts will pop up. I gave him the link just couple of minutes ago. So hopefully, he's looking at his email. And things of that nature, and we'll see. But until then, y'all got me, So hopefully your Mondays are going okay. For me, it's cool. We got the government shut down, and any of you people out there are hurt by it. We'll just pray for you. Listen, I look at this in two ways. How's it impacting Wall Street, and how is it impacting Main Street? And the truth of the matter is, right now, Wall Street acts like, everything is okay. Well, we got two raging wars going on. They got a genocide going on. They got all kinds of stuff, and Wall Street just keeps on kicking. Well, Main Street, well, it might be a little bit different, right? So the shutdown is going to impact people in different ways. And some folks in the private sector, it might not impact you at all. So for those government employees out there, like I've been through several of these situations, and it's pins and needles time. Folks who were out the first administration for Trump, it was like, 30 something days. I was a part of that one. You got your check at the end, but there you go. Anyway, so back to this title of where we come from in terms of, women who don't need men. They say it. And, it's kind of words that comes out of these hyenas' mouths. But the truth of the matter is, I think that basic nature of women is that they really don't need men until they do. Right? I think that they look at men as useful tools. And if those tools ain't benefiting them, you're blind to them. You're invisible to them. So we'll kind of explore that a little bit, and I think we'll have some fun with it. Of course, I missed the clip, so we have all kinds of clips. So as people come in, we could talk about that. If you want to join the chat, you can, and please do. And if you want to join the show, I'll drop the link when there's something when people want to come up. It's no big deal. But I do want to get through all the clips. And again, this ain't to bash women, because I don't think that the fact that women want to use men is nefarious. I believe that it's been weaponized. I believe that the feminist movement has made it into something negative, like a toxic kind of trait, but it's not. Men need to be useful, right? Men strive to be useful in their capacity, and women take advantage of that for security and for what they call provision, whether that's money or whether that's something else. And it's kind of evident, right? Because even when women have money, they still want men to provide, right? So we're going to explore some of that. So I got a video on that, on the nature of women and the fact that they see it as, conscious or unconscious. This is the way they view men. But before we get there, I want to throw this one clip that kind of takes us into a segue about men and women in the military. And I'm not going to go too far from this topic, but I thought it was interesting to show how our military, before we started to turn it over, compared to some of the military that's out there. So this is just a little quick clip, and I think it's a little fun, right? All right, so we're going to play this right now.
Arms up straight, time's begun. She did 5 minutes 30 the other day.
Oh my God.
With a squat at the end. I'll give you the correct time. It's 30 minutes. 15 seconds.
Yeah,
Come on, guys! Let's go! Yes!
Okay, so she beat him, right? Now, I just saw, and this is my little segment, I just saw that Pete Hegseth, right, did a briefing to all his generals just recently. And I thought it was one of the most impressive briefings I've seen in a very, very long time from anybody. And he was telling them that our military is out of shape. Our military needs to shape up. They need to be in fighting shape. To all those generals out there, that if you're too fat, you're going to have some period of time, you're going to have to get into shape, because you cannot represent the United States that way. But, you know, to have the narrative of this woman who beat this guy who's an American soldier and holding the weight over her head, well, if you look at it, the woman had perfect posture. She knew what she was doing. And he just thought, since he was a dude, he could just hold it over his head and that's it. You could see his stance compared to hers. So she had everything braced properly and he didn't. So she won. I wonder what Pete would say to him. You know what I'm saying? But that was just something to say, you know, like just a segue before we get to the topic again, because the next one I'm gonna tie into the topic, because, and the next little real brief one I'm gonna show is somebody I very, very rarely agree with. And he's a frat brother of mine, but I don't agree with his stance on a lot of shit. But on this next thing I'm gonna show you, I absolutely do. And I'll turn it into start to tie that into what we're going to talk about today, because I think it'll be relevant. Okay. So let me get rid of this, right? And put myself back in the middle where I belong. And we're going to go ahead and play that next one, just so y'all can see what I'm talking about and who I'm talking about. So just bear with me for a second. There you go. Let me take that off. Let me share it. All right. All right.
Of men. I don't have female friends. I don't. I'm incapable of that.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, because, you know, come on.
Because you have a wife.
Well, I have a wife, and I don't really have female friends, because look, you're an attractive woman. There are some guys somewhere saying, "Yeah, we're friends." No, that's not true. He's your friend only because you have made it absolutely clear that nothing else is happening except this friendship we have. We remain your friends in hopes that one day there'll be a crack in the door, a chink in the armor, and trust and believe that guy that you think is just your buddy, he will slide in that crack the moment he gets the opportunity. Because we're
most
guys.
Men think this way?
99.9% of us think that way.
All right. So one of the things I want to say about the lady that they don't show who's on this, who's feigning some kind of ignorance, you know, she's full of shit. She's either willfully ignorant or, no, she's just willfully ignorant, because you can't reach a certain age. And I understand that men don't want to have men who are going to be in your orbit and letting you extract something from them, actually want something in return. Now, they may be gentlemen. They may keep their distance. But, you know, it's willful ignorance, because women understand that men want to have sex with them, especially if you're attractive. So what is this dude hanging around you for, letting you extract his energy if he doesn't want something in return? Now, is it 100%? No. But, you know, but let me put it to you this way. If you're a woman in a relationship with a man, you his wife, you know, I mean, depending on your profession, That's one thing. But your husband is not going to want you to have a whole bunch of random male orbiters around you. And no, this bullshit that, listen, it's not about them. Just trust me. When she says that to you, that's feigning willful ignorance, right? Act like she doesn't understand the nature of a man. Even if the man understands that she might not give no ass to one of these random male orbiters, he knows that if she has those men in her presence, there's something about each one of those men that she's extracting something from. That's the nature of women. They don't have men hanging around them unless they can extract some shit from the dude. That's the issue, right? So I got this guy here, well, because he cooks well. Or this guy, when I talk to him about certain issues, he gives me the answer I want to hear. This guy here is good at that. This other dude is a childhood friend. You know, he used to like me, but we never went anywhere. But like as if him not wanting to bang you out has gone away into the mythical ether somewhere. He still wants to bang you out, but you know him from the neighborhood. So how close do you want to be with these guys? The truth of the matter is, when a woman has any men in her orbit, each one of them, she could extract something from. She might not say it out loud. It may be unconscious, or it might be subconscious, or it could be conscious. But the truth of the matter is, if she can't see the value in that guy around her, she's not going to let him in the circle. And if I could find any women who want to be honest about that, it'd be nice if they just came up and said it, because I believe it's true. So that's where what Steve Harvey said from different angles, I agree with. It's hard to be, you could be an acquaintance with a woman, you could have a business relationship with her. But if you're in a relationship, why would you want to have a female friend that's really attractive? Because even if you don't do anything, you're thinking about it. Right? You're thinking about it. I mean, even if it's not all the time, it's going to cross your mind the way she bends over, the way she hands you something, the way she touches you on the fingers. Depending on the setting that you're in, are you alone? Are you out to lunch together? Are you having an intimate conversation? Where the hell, so there was a thing last week I showed where the guy was yelling at his wife because she wanted to open their relationship so she could have male friends. And he was not having one bit of it, not because he didn't trust his wife. It's because no man wants a whole bunch of guys around their woman who wants to bang around. It's just that simple. And the woman has to understand that that's the deal. Well, she doesn't have to understand that's the deal, but some guys will say, this is where I draw the line. All right, we ain't going to be together if you need to have so much male attention besides me. You might as well just go ahead and have that male attention. I'll find somebody else to marry. Now, unfortunately, there's not enough men who are willing to do that. But the truth of the matter is, that's the way it should be. So I just wanted to kind of share that with you, because Steve Harvey, like I said, is not one of my best guys to use as an example, even though I think on this one, he was absolutely right. And I don't begrudge him being right on this one. So, so I got a clip, and I was looking for this clip that kind of goes through my theory that it's a natural inclination of self-preservation, of security, of having to be covered by somebody stronger, maybe smarter, more cunning, that a woman wants that from a man, and it's a natural thing. And that natural inclination actually can be weaponized nefariously sometimes, or just accepted from a feminine standpoint of this is the natural way things should be, right? That's why everybody says, not everybody, that's why most people say women throughout their life are better off if they're covered by a man, right? To help bring order to some of the chaos, that some of the decisions she'll make. That men need to have the women to ground them in certain aspects with the obligations and the purpose of building a family and a stable relationship. So, and when I talk about this situation, and thank God I'm not talking to the mute button because nobody's come in yet. When I talk about this situation, I think it goes for me as well. I've been married for a very long time. But early on, I understood that my wife is with me for two reasons. One, the covenant marriage that we both agree with, which is very important to both of us, and we stick by that. And two, is because she still finds me useful. She still, my wife finds me useful, right? Not just for a laugh, not for this. She finds use in me being around. The other thing is, and part of that, part B, is because she wants to be with me. She wants me in her life, And so when we start to, and we're going to talk about this later. So when we start seeing these TikToks about these women who say, well, he was a good man, but I divorced him anyway, or I divorced him because I wanted my happiness. The real truth of the matter is those women leave these men because they stop seeing his usefulness. They stop seeing what use is it to have this guy in their life. It's short-sighted. It's temporary stupidity. And a lot of these outcomes don't turn out well. And then when they try to come on TikTok or some way and say their life is better, all they're doing is saying that they're sucking a whole lot of Johnson. That's pretty much what they're doing, right? You could look at Tia Mowry and see that she doesn't look happy that she destroyed her family because of some bullshit. But let's face it. Her husband, Corey, stopped being useful to her. So she said, you know what, I'm dipping. And now that the laws are starting to change, too slow, by the way, women can't just use this irreconcilable difference because now the man's no useful after 20 years because they don't leave on their own. If women just left without trying to extract the essence of the man that they're destroying, then it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But women never leave that way. They'll break a marriage, break a family for their happiness, but they'll try to destroy the man on the way out. Right? So the point really is that, they still want to extract the man's essence, even when they're leaving. And that's when this whole natural thing becomes, toxic, for lack of a better word, right? Weaponized. Because men want to be useful to women. Most men absolutely want to be useful to the woman in their lives. And there's some other parts to it, like, the partnership bullshit. When a woman says that she wants a partner in a man, it's a red flag. Because what she's saying to the man is, we could be together as long as you're useful to me. And once you're not useful to me, that partnership is severed. Right? Very rarely will you hear one of these women, especially in the goddamn social media era, over social media, TikTok, and as vast as it is, there's very few women that you hear say, I want a husband. I want a husband. I want a covenant marriage. I want a covenant relationship. Maybe I'm not clicking on enough posts, but just going through TikTok or just random conversation in any panel. And these are not bad women. But they don't look at relationships as covenants. They just look at it as a partnership. And a lot of men are starting to, parrot what the women say. So I got this clip I'm going to play, and then I have a lot of shorter clips that's after it. But this one, I don't know how I found it. And, baby, I could say up front that I like it because it kind of, I guess, gives me some credibility to my theory here. And because I'm a part of it is like most men probably already know what I'm saying, that we just don't talk about certain things, But hey, I see Trey here says, yeah, it's so small, my thing about, no way a woman can give equal usage. No, she can't. She will get more out of a relationship. I agree. But the key, Trey, is do men really mind that? Or do men who are on their square understand that if they make a commitment to a woman, that, your commitment as a man to her and the family and the marriage and all that, I think it outweighs her commitment to you. Not that it's supposed to, but is she, the expectation of her being with you through thick and thin is pretty much not the same. So so let me play this clip for everybody, for guys out there. And if you want to come up, Trey, I'm gonna drop the link in a second. But let me get this clip started, and because I think it's good. I think it's a good clip. Now it's kind of long. I'm gonna stop it and start it. But I don't think I'm gonna go through the whole thing, but I'm gonna go through enough of it for us to garner what this guy is trying to say. Let me start it from the beginning. Let me do this. Now, let me go ahead and share it. All right.
She does not love you. She loves how you make her feel. You thought you were special, that your kindness, your loyalty, your sacrifices meant something. But the more you gave, the less you mattered. You became easy to reach, easy to please, easy to ignore. And in that moment, you stopped being a man in her eyes and became a tool. Schopenhauer did not hate women. He saw them clearly. He called them a trap laid by nature, a biological illusion designed to enslave men through beauty, desire, and emotional dependency. From the way she tilts her head to the softness in her voice, from the moment she touches your hand to the tears she cries, it's not manipulation, it's instinct. Nature does not care about your feelings, and once you see the pattern, it becomes impossible to unsee. The pedestal you put her on, it was never real. The love you believed was unconditional, it was transactional. And this does not make her evil. It makes her human. Just as men have the instinct to protect, provide, and pursue, women have the instinct to attract, secure, and survive. But when you ignore this brutal truth, you hand over your power. This is not about hate. It's about seeing clearly. It's about waking up. Because the man who remains blind to female nature will always suffer under the illusion of love. And this is the truth no one tells you. You see her across the room. Red lips, delicate features, soft, glowing skin. Your heart skips a beat. Your mind races. You think, she's the one. But that feeling, that intoxicating rush, it's not love, it's nature, it's instinct, it's biology hijacking your brain. Schopenhauer did not romanticize desire. He stripped it bare. To him, beauty was not a divine trait or a soulful connection. It was bait, carefully crafted by nature to pull you in, to trick you into service. The will to life, he wrote, uses the illusion of beauty to ensure its own continuation. In other words, that flawless skin, that hypnotic voice, that perfect curve of her smile. It's not for you. It's not her. It's nature, using her as a vessel to further its own agenda. That aching, desperate pull you feel when you see a beautiful woman. It's not sacred. It's not romantic. It's a trap. An ancient program written into your DNA, telling you to chase, to serve, to surrender, even if it costs you everything. Schopenhauer observes something deeply unsettling. What men call love is often just desire in disguise. You are not falling for who she is. You are falling for what she represents: youth, fertility, softness, validation. And she does not even need to try. Her smile feels personal, but it's generic. Her charm feels unique, but it's biological. It's not deception, it's design. Let me tell you about Ethan. Ethan was a good man.
All right. So I wanted to stop it there on purpose because we've all seen, right, the good man theory, right? A guy is a good man, and then we see all over TikTok that the good man is getting shit on by women all over the place, right? So this guy kind of talking about the nature of women and how they view men as a useful tool. And then, like I said before, that a guy who might be quote unquote the good man, who does everything right, who's obligated to his family, As soon as that woman decides that he's no longer useful, it doesn't matter how good he is, right? It just doesn't matter. I'm gone. I'm out of here. Your usefulness has been served up. Yeah, that's some old shit, right? I felt like I said, the point really, I'm thinking that this guy, no matter how, some things are aging, some things are nature, you know, it's natural. It doesn't change based on the fact that there's a different time. It could get hidden, it could get masked, but nature is nature. The nature of a woman hasn't changed. Every woman who has a guy back in the old Stone Age days, right? The woman wanted the strongest guys for protection, for everything, and procreation, right? Half the dudes never even got a chance to procreate. Only the toughest dudes got some ass to procreate, you know? So just because you're a good man or a good woman, it does not always mean you will get the part. No, we're not talking about whether it means that. We're talking about men already in relationships with women who do everything right. But when that woman decides that he no longer serves her purpose, she'll shit him out like a bad fucking orange. Anyway, so I'm going to play a couple of other. I'm going to just hold this here. If I can, I'll come back to this where it's at. But I want to play another clip that I had about the good man. All right. About how a woman views the good man. All right. Here you go. Right. Here's one of these clips. Well, I'm going to share it and we'll come back to the other one.
Divorcing a good guy. I've been divorced twice, both of which were my decision, and neither one of them were abusing me or cheating on me. That doesn't mean there wasn't a pile of other reasons as to why we couldn't maintain a healthy relationship. You deserve to be happy. And I'm proud of you for taking responsibility for your happiness and doing something about it. So stop beating yourself up.
The reason why nobody's talking about divorcing the good guy is because they know how it makes them look and they oftentimes live to regret it. And the bottom line is that it is extremely disappointing for men to hear stories like this because it tells them that they could be an amazing man, but this is how they could still end up. The woman that they love and that they said vows to and that she said vows back to him could just decide she's not happy and she leaves him. Ladies, what so many men would love for you to understand is that they don't do that to you. Men do not leave good women simply because they aren't happy. Because most men understand that if they are not happy and yet they have a good woman, it is a him problem. A lot of women, unfortunately, do not think the same way when it comes to their own happiness because they put it on the man to make them happy. These are women that will be in the cycle of finding a new man and being happy for a short amount of time, but then eventually over time, they become unhappy because they're unhappy with themselves. So for you men listening, my biggest piece of advice is to make sure that you're with a woman that is naturally happy with herself. Trust me.
All right. So let's stop that right there. Okay. So the point really is, again, she's right. And again, we use happiness in this terms of the happiness is that the guy who might have been making her happy for certain things that a certain way he is, it no longer is effective. So the woman uses happiness as her term for leaving, but it could be anything. Happiness is just one of them. He's not laying the pipe like he used to. I'm leaving. I can't stand the way the fucking guy chews, so I'm leaving. I'm not. Whatever. I'm off my birth control, so he doesn't smell the same anymore. So you know what? I'm out of here. So that's So like I said, women kind of have to have some kind of usefulness for the guy, or else they really kind of give up. Especially in modern times, right? Even back then, when everybody said the only reason why women were with men is because they needed the guy to cover them. Well, you know what? There's partial truth to that. There's partial truth, but to say that's the only reason why women cleave to men is erroneous. Because if that guy she was with actually satisfies her needs, then for some women that was enough. That was enough. This guy continues to say what he does for me kind of fulfills the void that I can't get from anybody else. So I'm staying. And a lot of women did that till death do they part. A lot of men do that, but our obligations have always been different. That's just my theory. So I'm gonna go. I got one more clip, and I think everybody's seen this clip before. And it's this sister who said why she left her man. Okay, and okay, well, okay, what's the only problem, Anissa, with that is the woman is happy, and it makes herself happy more than likely. She's going to be doing things that you don't like. Shopping, no, shopping, girls trip. Listen, again, shopping is not going to make a man mad if he has the money. Girls trips depend on the relationship with the guy, with the woman. I wouldn't be with a woman who does things by habit that I don't like, right? So if a woman was used to going on girls trips, I'd bang her out, I'd have a good time with her, and she can go on all of the girls trips that she has, but I won't put a ring on her finger. I mean, we could have fun together, Yeah, so as for going shopping, as long as we stay within a budget and she has her own money, goddamn it, you spend it. But as far as on girls trips, I wouldn't mind if we just hanging out together. But if we're in a relationship and you're my wife, yeah, I have some problems with that, especially when you're going with the whore down the street. And I already went through this already about the anatomy of an affair with a woman on a girls trip, because she didn't necessarily have to go out looking to have an affair. But after 5 nights of being out there with all her friends getting banged out and she's hearing that shit through the walls, she might get kind of weak before that last night is over. Anyway, so I'm going to show this one more clip about the so-called good guy and where that leads. And I think a lot of people seen this before. I think a lot of people have seen this woman before. So I'm going to just show it just for the hell of it.
I divorced my husband because I was making a certain amount of money. I divorced my husband because I thought I didn't need him anymore. I divorced my husband because I had this senior position at work and thought I held the same.
Now, one of the key things I just skipped over because she said I didn't need him anymore, right? His usefulness had run out.
Position at home. I divorced my husband because I thought I was better than him because I had my degree now. I divorced my husband because I thought a successful marriage meant I was here and he was down here. That is not success. That's fucking sickness. I found myself divorced and out there looking for love in all the wrong places, fucking this one and that one and that one and that one and this one and that one, and my body count going up and my value going down. I'm just going to call it like a TI is. All the while, my husband done found somebody else building a relationship and building a life with them. I should have stayed married to my husband. I felt like I was on this dark road with no street lights, pitch dark, and I couldn't find my way and didn't know which way to go. I felt lost. I felt like I was walking barefoot on that dark road with pebbles and hot rocks sticking my foot. I felt hurt. I felt alone because every time he and that one and this one and that one left my bed, I was alone all by myself. And which was supposed to be soft and comfortable for me, my pillow, it was now filled with tears. I should not have left my husband.
There you go. That's her speaking, But that's just one of those kind of things. So I want to go back to the okay, yeah. So yeah, BMU dropped the link there. I was going to drop it anyway. So let me go back to that to this link and play a little bit more of it, right? So this is where it stopped. Ethan was a good man.
Loyal, kind, emotionally available. He met a girl who seemed perfect. He opened doors for her, listened to her every word, sent good morning texts every day. And for a while, she seemed to glow in his presence. He thought he had found his soulmate, but slowly things shifted. She became distant, less responsive, less impressed. The more he gave, the less she valued him. Why? Because Ethan did not understand nature. He thought attraction was about being nice. But nature does not reward nice. It rewards strength, unpredictability, power. Ethan was playing a game without knowing the rules. Modern men are raised on fantasies, Disney love stories, rom-coms, Instagram captions about soulmates. But Schopenhauer believed this was all a dangerous illusion. Love is a metaphysical deception, he wrote. It makes us believe we are choosing freely, when in truth, we are slaves to the species. You don't fall in love, you fall into programming, that magnetic pull toward her body, that sudden sense that you would die for her. That's not you choosing. That's the will to life acting through you, making you a servant to reproduction. And her beauty, her sweetness, they are tools, mechanisms of survival, not conscious manipulation, but unconscious evolution. Schopenhauer said, "A woman's charm is the mask of nature, a mask worn only long enough to ensnare a man."
You know, and listen, man, I know this was made long ago and that kind of thought, but it's, it's true. It's really, really true. And I got a couple of other clips, more modern clips, and this one I'm not going to play anymore. We can probably get the link from this and go check it out. It's really a 22-minute tape, so I'm not going to put you all through it. I think we get the point that there's a natural inclination for women to use the men in their orbit, whether that's for sex, whether that's for information, whether that's for work, whatever it's for. That's the deal, And I think there's something that most men probably inherently understand, but can't put their finger on it. But it kind of answers some of the reasons why a woman would up and leave you, just out of the clear blue. And if you really think about it and peel back the onion, it's because she no longer sees any use in being around you. Anyway, so let me get rid of that and bring my man Trey up, man. What's going on, Trey? Hey, what's up, Terry? How you doing, man? All right. So what do you think, man? What it's a theory. I say it's my theory, but it's been out there. What do you think? That women look at men as tools, and when we stop,
I agree with that.
Oh, okay. I think so.
No, I 100%. I 100% agree with you. I think I personally don't think that women are capable of loving. I think that they only see us as utility. That's it. And when we're not useful anymore, then especially in this day and age, they have the option to replace us. When you look at even the average woman, I mean, she's got a roster full of guys, in her DMs or when she steps out. So, if you're not a useful guy, and unfortunately, the usefulness is related to how much money he makes in most cases. You know what I mean?
In a lot of cases,
it has a lot to do
sure.
with. Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and so no, you're good. You're good. It's just if he's not making a certain amount of money, then all of a sudden he's not somehow isn't useful, which I find to be quite interesting. Which is why we see that a lot of women are having children with the same men. They all see the same men. That video of all the women that were on Kendra G's show when they did that breakdown of how many of them had kids. I did some quick numbers, and it showed that each woman averaged 4 kids by 3 different men, and that just goes to show you that the utility they see is wrapped in the money. It's not in his character, it's not in his values, it's not in his morals, it's not in what he'll teach the children, what he'll teach the boys and the girls. It's not in how he leads the family, it's not in how he protects the family. It's all based in how much clout he has, how much money he makes. And that is what it is. And this is why you have a lot of guys who are like me who are saying, man, forget it. It's not worth it. Forget it. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth the time. It's not worth the effort. It's just not worth any of it to keep all your dealings with women at a casual level. Keep everything casual. As Coach Greg Adams would say, lease them. I just lease 30 to 60 days and then I move on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know. I mean, Coach, hey, man, Coach Adams, man, he ain't moving off that square, man. He is not. You know, was he married before? I think he might have been married before. But man, but
and
like,
he had to fight for custody of both of his kids, and he won.
okay, all right. So I got, not to belabor this point. I had a thing by psych hacks, but we know enough about it. But what I want to show is proof of a woman. I would just show. I think it's pretty good. I think she says it's two women that I'm gonna show. One's an older divorced woman, and one's a young 25-year-old. Okay, the first one I'm gonna show is a divorced woman, and she says exactly what we're talking about. Let me do it this way. All right. There you go. I gotta make sure I get this right. All right. Here we go.
I'm a single mom and been married, dated, and I have a gentleman who I've
She's a cutie pie.
known for a while, who's pursued me for a while, and I just haven't been interested because I haven't just not really wanting to date. And I told him, well, he called me and he's like, don't be upset, I just need to ask you something. I'm like, okay. So he's like, why aren't you interested in me? Like, my finances are good, I've been liking you for a while, and I've been pursuing you for a while. Why aren't you giving me a chance? And I told him, I said, I don't know, I just haven't been wanting to start looking into that or dating or anything. But like, I'm a single mom. Like, there's certain things that I like, to impress me. There's certain things that, like, I want, you to try to do. Like, I'm not about going to have dinner or go watch a comedy show or nothing like that. I really just want someone to just come and be like, hey, let me mow your lawn. Let me clean out your backyard. Let me help out with the manly things, because I know you don't have a man in this house helping you out in that. Like, those are the things that I want, not that I might, but that might change my heart. That might change.
Okay, let me stop it right there. Okay. So what she's saying is, listen, I need you to clean my backyard, my gutters. I want you to go fucking change my battery in my whatchamacallit. And maybe, just maybe, you might get a chance to sniff this woofy woof. Ain't that some shit? That's just so fucking funny, man. So I want you to listen, man. I want you to do exactly what my husband, who I found no use for no more, to do, just so you could. Well, first of all, I cut his ass off too, so it wasn't enough. That's why I got rid of him. But I want you to go ahead and audition to be my useful tool, and just maybe you might get a chance to take my panties off. God damn it. And she said with straight face. Straight. So what you think about that, Trey? What you think about
that? I'm laughing at you. You're getting a good chuckle out of this. I mean,
every time I see it, I laugh.
Yeah, this is the state of dating. But here's what I find funny, Arcane. If we say, as men, well, I'm looking for someone to cook for me, I'm looking for someone to clean my home, I'm looking for someone to do my laundry. Is that not the equivalent? Is that not the same thing?
You want me to be a slave? God.
You're trying to oppress me, and I'm not your mama. You know what I mean? Well, I'm not your daddy. I'm not supposed to be raking the leaves and cutting the grass, and every time a screw gets loose in the house, you want me to come. That's not my job either. Call your daddy. And so this is what I'm saying. You're not gonna use me. You're not gonna use me. If I can't use you, you can't use me.
It's not. I mean, it's not too much longer, but I like the way she's just so easy, just saying this shit.
Change my mind, but you trying to ask me out on a date or take me out to eat, or I don't want to. I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to spend any time doing that. I want a different kind of effort. I want you to offer these kind of things to me. Like I might just change my mind, change my perspective, and
okay, that's enough, right? I might just give you and you know what? I think the worst kind of lay a man can get is a mercy lay.
It's called chore play.
Yeah, that's
what she's describing. She's describing chore play. Is what she's saying.
Oh my!
That you might just hit the right spot if you trim the hedges. If you trim my hedges, it might just turn me on just enough.
It's just too much, man. And so I said, well, as I was going through this theory, I started seeing these videos. I said, man, this chick, with a straight face says, listen, you know what? It is a barter system. You give me what I need, and maybe I might consider giving you what you want. That's it, right? Because I know what you want, but wait a minute. First, you got to pay some penance. All right, so we took that down. Let me do this. Okay, what's
our
up?
Relationships are transactional, though.
Yeah,
not
they
transactional, though.
They
People
are.
keep trying to tell me when I say they're transactional. No, it's not about that. Yes, it is. It's always about somebody getting something for something.
Exactly. And you know what? And again, the transactional nature of relationships is not necessarily a bad thing. Not in and itself, if both people are going in understanding what the deal is.
And not only that, our pain.
Somebody wants to say, who's that? Liam, what you got to say?
Oh no, real quick. What's up, man? What's up, my brother Trey? What's going on? Arpain? Hey, listen, real quick. I want you to say this. So I don't know if you saw it, Arpain, because you be on top of it too, or you Trey, both of y'all. Have y'all seen the lady who she's on Dr. Phil now, getting help, but she just had a serious revelation. She said when she was 15 years old, she had a baby. And at 15 years old, her mom made her put the baby up for adoption. So she didn't even get a chance to hold the baby or see the baby. They took the baby right away.
Okay.
All right. So she's an adult now. Now she's seeking help because she met a guy. She wanted to be in a relationship. She met a guy and they started dating or whatever. And she just found out that she's been dating her son.
Well, shit, man. She's that much older than the guy she's trying to date?
She's 15 years older because she had him when she was 15.
So she was robbing the cradle anyway, right? So
yeah. So she said she is in therapy. They really didn't know. She's tired of people coming in her comments and in her inbox saying that she's a incest lady and blah blah blah. And you knew that was your son. She said she never met him, didn't even know what he looked like. And so how was she supposed to know that was her son that she's having sex with and dating?
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, it's a story, but it's a story that shouldn't be such a it's a big deal. But she's ignorant of it. You know what? Okay, you banged him out for a little while. Now you know. Now you can't do it.
Yep, she said they're in therapy right now trying to work through it. She said she can't see him as a son and he can't see her as a mother.
Well, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I mean, yeah, we can't be boys now. we can't be a family that way. But I hear you. Hey, listen, hey Trey, I got this other one, right? It's really short, and in 1 minute. In 1 freaking minute, this young girl, 25 years old, one young lady, says everything we need to know. So I might stop it a little bit a couple of times going through it the first time, but the second time I'll play it all the way through. I think it's gold. I really do. I think it's absolute gold. All right, so let me go ahead and share this shit and the first thing he asks is what her age, but let's go.
26 on February 22nd. So I'm 25 right now.
Are you single?
I am single.
Why do you think that is?
Because I want to be. I have a couple of boyfriends. I hope they're not watching. Maybe like 4 or 5. So I guess I'm single. I am single.
Okay, so I think she hesitated to say it. She thinks she's got so many men in her orbit. To me, is that really being single? Oh yeah, I'm single.
But what's it like dating 5 people at the same time?
It's just like juggling. You have to be talented.
Are you sleeping with all 5 of them?
Not all of them. Depends on the situation.
Why not all? What's the deciding factor?
Well, there's different guys for different situations.
There you go, right there. Different guys for different situations. Exactly.
Some guys, I just want to go to. I forgot that I'm recording this.
Some guys you just want to what?
There's different purposes for different tools.
One's a shovel, one's a knife, one's a fork.
Yeah, honestly, the one that I'm fucking, never gonna get in a relationship with him. He doesn't have the job, finances, none of that.
So why even open yourself up to a guy like that?
Great dick.
Did she say in 1 minute? In 1 fucking minute, she said everything you need to know. I thought that shit was gold. You know, so it's incredible. I mean, but it's not just her. It's not. You know, maybe just the way she handled it, but it's not just her. I'll come back to it. I just want to play it through so everybody can hear it without me stopping.
What's your age?
26 on February 22nd. So I'm 25 right now.
Are you single?
I am single.
Why do you think that is?
Because I want to be. I have a couple of boyfriends. I hope they're not watching. Maybe like 4 or 5. So I guess I'm single. I am single.
I mean, but what's it like dating 5 people at the same time?
It's just like juggling. You have to be talented.
Are you sleeping with all 5 of them?
Not all of them. Depends on the situation.
Why not all? What's the deciding factor?
Well, there's different guys for different situations. Some guys, I just want to go to. I forgot that I'm recording this.
Some guys you just want to what?
There's different purposes for different tools.
One's a shovel, one's a knife, one's a fork.
Yeah, honestly, the one that I'm fucking, never gonna get in a relationship with him. He doesn't have the job, finances, none of that.
So why even open yourself up to a guy like that?
Great dick.
Oh man, it's just a beautiful thing, man. It's just let him talk. In 1 minute, my man is good anyway. That guy with the mic, he's pretty good. Unbelievable. So, good.
Where do I start? This is what we're trying to get men to understand. She's 26. And this is somebody's future wife. This is somebody's future wife. And the difference is that maybe 40 years ago, there was no TV screen and social media for them to admit this and say that they've been doing this. Is nothing new. They've been doing this for years, but they were able to get away with it prior to social media because there was no way. The only person that knew was their best friends. Their girlfriend knew, right? Maybe their mama knew, or their sister knew. Somebody close to them knew. But now they're bold enough to get on social media and tell you, hey, I got 5 guys, and this guy's he pays for this, and this guy, well, he doesn't have to pay for anything as long as he puts it down in the bedroom, and then this guy does it. Now they're willingly, openly telling you all of their secrets. And where I get frustrated I'm going to say I get frustrated with the guys. I get frustrated with the men. Let me tell you why I get frustrated with the men. If me and you are playing poker, our pain, and at the beginning of the hand, you put your cards down and show me your hand, and I lose, whose fault is that?
Yeah, that's your fault.
It's my fault. I lost. These women are literally telling you, I am not worthy of being married. I'm not worthy of a committed relationship. I'm not worthy of your protection. I'm not worthy of your provision. I'm not worthy of any of it. I'm going to tell you this on social media, on TikTok, and you guys still marry them.
That's right.
You get everything you deserve.
Exactly. Well, you know what? I believe that the way she hesitated when he said, "Are you sleeping with all of them?" She's lying. She banged all of those guys out at least once.
Yeah,
You
because
know?
she's trying to save some shred of dignity.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
gone. It's gone, sweetheart. It's gone. First of all, you in Brickell, because that's Miami. You in Brickell. We all know what time it is down there. That's paid for play. That's paid for place. The Mecca paid for play now down
Okay.
there, right? We know what time it is down there. So she's probably got two guys who pay the bills, and they get a little piece. They get a little piece, right? But she's not giving them genuine desire. You know what I mean? She's not giving them that, right? And then
You
the
see,
other guy,
they could get some ass, but they can't sleep over.
no. Exactly. It is purely transactional with those guys, right? Because she has to pay her bills. And then there's the guy who has no job, who she actually probably really likes because he be putting her through the mattress, and she loves that. You know what I mean? But this is what I'm trying to get these Gen Zers to understand. These are you women. And your ego lets you believe, oh, not my girl, your girl too. Your girl too, bro. And if she hasn't done it, she's capable of doing it. This is a light switch for them. They can flip it on at any point in time they want to. And I was gonna say that about the last one. I was gonna say women reserve the right to change their mind at any time. At any time.
No doubt.
At any time. So yeah, okay, she may come off as the cutesy, safe chick, but how many women do you see after they get break up in a relationship, they go to being in as scandalous as they possibly can, because it is a light switch. They can flip this on and off. So I'm not shocked by it. I don't think I'm more shocked at men who don't want to believe her when they tell, like, they don't want to believe it that she's actually telling you. If you think, oh, my ego, she wouldn't do that to me. Yes, she would. Yes, she would.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of funny though, Trey. I tell people when I started this thing about this theory I have, and I talk to my wife about this too, because I mean, we in general, listen, husbands are not immune to this shit, right? You know, like people say, well, what do you know about women? I said, well, shit, man, my wife never turned in her female card when we got married. So my ego is in one of the things about my ego, one of the things about my wife that we're close. One, she does believe in the vows, just like I do. That's one. How much she does, I mean, I'm not with 100%, but I can feel a disturbance in the force. She still looks at me the way she did when we were young. And two, she's only with me because she wants to be. And I think that's powerful. A lot of people don't see, like, it's not like I'm some kind of this and that. My wife is still with me because she absolutely wants to be. She still finds some use in me, right? Because if she left me now, she don't need me to take my resource. Right? I mean, you know what I'm saying? She doesn't, if the way she's in her position right now, if we were in a courtroom, I might as well just, go get a cell next to, goddamn Epstein. Because I'm not going to have any. So she's with me because she wants to be. And that's fine with me. And I think men lose sight of that, because our egos get in the way. So when I talked to her, I said, well, why are you still with me? Just conversations. So, well, I don't want to be with you. I want to be. And I said, yeah, that's the answer. And somehow I kind of dragged this shit out for a lifetime, lucky me. But it still ain't over yet, man. If I wake up at 70 years old, she might say, you know what? You're no longer useful to me. I'm out of here. She take her cane and go the other way.
And I think what's happened is that younger generations have seen or encountered women like this and have gone into defense mode.
Right.
They've gone into protective mode and said, okay, well, I still want to deal with women, but I don't want to get taken for a ride.
Right.
So the best thing for me to do is to essentially play the same game she's playing. So she got her 5, I got mine. And that's just the state of dating at this point. But if you're thinking that you're more likely to find her than you are to find the opposite, the antithesis of her. You're more likely to come across more girls like this at 26 years old than you
Right.
are to find the opposite. And this is where I get frustrated with the older generation who tell us, "Well, find the needle in the haystack." It's like, do you understand what you're telling us? It is damn near impossible.
Yeah, but you gotta still look. But let me ask you this then. Forget about the needle in the haystack. So this chick, what she just said at 26, and how she is. So are we saying that there's no redemption for a woman like this younger lady at all?
I think that's a case by case basis.
And that's exactly where everybody's at, right? I mean, that's exactly where every relationship that goes past a situationship is these days. It's case by case, right?
Yeah, I mean, some men are willing to deal with her and what she's done. Like I say all the time, people say, "Oh, past doesn't matter." Well, no, to some degree, it doesn't matter. It only matters if you accept the past. Then it can become an issue going forward. But if you say, "Hey, I'm never dealing with this woman," then her past will never matter because you're not dealing with her. So it's irrelevant. Right. I think
but you
for
think
her,
she's gonna
she's
tell
got
somebody this? You think she would tell her future husband?
No, of course not. No, I don't think she would. I don't think she would openly tell a guy this. But is there a way that he might possibly slip up and come across this in 4 years, where she has a change of heart? Because she will have a change of heart.
Of course.
They all have a change of heart. They all change their mind. She will have a change of heart. Do I think there's a possibility? They say the internet is forever. If he's a diligent man, and if he does his homework, and he hires somebody to go scan the internet to find her, then yeah, he is going to come across this, because that's what I would do if I was ever going to take a woman seriously. Oh, you better believe facial reverse face images, the whole nine. Like I'm scared. I'm combing the entire internet to find out, have you ever been on sugar sites and all that. Like any of this, I need to know any of escorts. I need to know all of it, because she's not going to be forthcoming with that information.
Right. So my next question to you on this topic then is, give me a percentage. Give me a percentage of men who find a woman like this, and when it's time for him to get married, who is going to go ahead and marry her anyway, compared to the guys.
I think it's a lot. I think it's a lot higher than we want to admit. I would say it's more than half.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's much more than half.
Yeah, I think we try to make it because we are in the red pill manosphere space, so to speak. So I think some of us have a tendency to sort of see it through rose-colored glasses and think majority of men are. No, actually, majority of men are the opposite. Yeah, they're the opposite, and they're not red pilled at all, actually. So I think she just has to find the guy who's not like me, who doesn't, you know what I mean? That's all she has to do. She's gonna find him. She's an attractive woman. She's in good shape. She gonna find him. She gonna find him.
See, that's my thing, right? So I'm thinking most men in the modern era, right? And you're right. Red pill or not, let's just take it out of the red pill space to space. Most men have already accepted that if they meet a woman at 30 years old, she had experiences. Whatever those experiences might be, that she's been in the street, right? If she's been living alone and she's been in the street, you're already, whether she tells you or not, you're really accepting something that she's done. Now it's up to you to really want to have that shit in your head or not. You know what I'm saying? Do I really need to know this?
And let's be clear, this is not a needle in a haystack at this point.
That's right. That's right.
Let's be clear.
That's right.
At this point, you're not dealing with the needle in the haystack anymore. You're dealing with the
more
more
common. Get your ass up there, Ferg.
Yeah, you're dealing with the more common woman at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think, especially men my age, early 40s, I think they're willing to tolerate a lot of nonsense. They're willing to put up with a lot of nonsense, you know what I mean? As opposed to guys who are younger and in the red pill space and whatnot, maybe won't put up with it. And the other part of this is that a lot of the men have sort of adapted the female trait of, we listen but we don't judge type stuff.
Yes.
And so they're not clowning their friends anymore of you're dating, the town bike now. You know what I mean?
Yep. Oh, yeah, okay, so in this says she shouldn't be considered, but that I listen, I hear you, but I don't think that shit's true. I think most guys say, listen, I think most men have the average guy has a scarcity mindset. If they got a cutie pie like that who actually likes someone, wants to do more, they ain't going nowhere. Especially how hard it is to find that chick. What's going on, Arm and Eyes? How you doing? What's going on, RC? What's happening, everybody? So I just think that in the whole purpose of this whole thing is that, like I said, women look at men as a useful tool. And I think it's more of a natural thing, just like my man was talking about in his piece, as opposed to them being nefarious. But that still doesn't mean that it can't be nefarious. It can't be something that is weaponized against men or used as a way for women to really think that they don't need men at all. Right? Like in a Black community, for example, right? They've been programmed to think that men are not only useful tools, but a lot of them think men are just useless, period. Right? I can raise a kid and family without a man. I don't need one. I mean, if you say some shit like that for forever, for so many years, isn't there inclined for some people to actually believe it?
Yeah, that's kind of how conditioning works.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I got a couple of, Crimson Cure just had a live today, and every so often she knocks some shit out of the park. Okay, and I clipped a couple of reels of that, only 1 minute each, of I think the weaponization of the mindset that has been used against, in particularly, I think Black women, in terms of what's going on, Ebony, which tells them that they don't need a man, and the quandary that has put them in the same thing, like the actual 350,000 of them losing a job. What about that? I would like to see those numbers. What about that independence now, when there's no safety net and the safety net's going away? Whatever that safety net might be. And so the Crimson hit a couple of things. I said, man, this shit is good as an ending to this, because I wasn't going to be here for a long time. But I got 3 short clips that I like to play from the Crimson Cure. And so let me just play the first one. Now, this is just like part A. All right. Let me stop it and share it. God damn it. There it is.
That they're going to restrict the Section 8, blah, 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 blah. They're kicking you off the jobs. The ones of you that took pride in not being a welfare queen, they did a switcheroo with a bundle of white women and made you the face of DEI and told everybody that firing you was just clearing the way to get all these unqualified women out of the workspace and put qualified white people in the workspace because you're a DEI hire. You're not qualified. They started from the federal jobs on down. So all of you women that took pride in saying, I'm not a welfare queen, I may have children, but I don't depend on welfare, taxpayer dollars, vouchers, different programs to take care of my children, fine. Decide that they're...
All right, so that's that first part. I just wanted to set it up by the so-called I don't need anything kind of situation, okay? Because there's some contention that women do need to be covered. We need each other. But, okay, so here's the next one. All right, so here's the one that I think that is going to hit home a little bit more. All right. Let me get rid of some of these other ones. All right. Uh-huh. Let me put it. All right. So this is the second one. And I got one more clip.
With Black men, you made single motherhood, baby mamaism a thing. You made that a thing. You made it a thing to aspire to. You promoted it. You championed it. You told the younger generation of women that you can do this. You got this. You can be a single mother. You don't need the men. As long as you got some type of income, as long as you got a place to stay, as long as you have all of these other things, as long as you have,
I said, as long as you got your own house, as long as you got your own transportation, and as long as you got your own income, it don't matter what a ninja got to say.
okay? You with Black.
So everybody's familiar with that last saying, right? And so this is coming to reverse Uno where I'm coming from. The natural inclination for women to need men for certain things and look at us as useful, that has been stripped out of the modern Black woman to say, I don't need you motherfuckers at all. And now that the winner is here, and we're starting to realize that, well, we need each other, but the men have been already socialized that we have to go look elsewhere. We got passports. We're looking for other women from different nationalities. You know, we don't want to put up with the belligerence and all that shit. And now you out here uncovered by yourself at your own choosing because you listen to Zaddy and you listen to the feminist movement and you listen to all of these people. They put a battery in your fucking back. And now you're out here by yourself. So I'm going to play one more clip and then we can just discuss it. Here's another short clip. And that's my last clip, by the way. I'm clip happy. All right. And this one brings it home. And people can go ahead and take it up with Kristen Cure if you think she's wrong.
And saying, I'm not a welfare queen. I may have children, but I don't depend on welfare, taxpayer dollars, vouchers, different programs to take care of my children. Fine. So you don't. But he still managed to snatch the rug out from under your feet as well. Because the power that you didn't want to give Black men by saying, if you give him all of the financial power and this and that, if he can feed you, he can starve you. What you were afraid Black men were going to do, white men did it to you. Mr. Cartwright did it to you. Because what you fail to realize is that go for everything. If you tried.
There you go. So that was it. That was the three clips. I mean, it was a good. She was really laying it down. Somebody else is. It was this.
Look, I got a homeboy. He's been married for about 14 years. They've been married a long time.
Okay.
And well, I know that she's been wanting to stop working. And she wound up getting laid off as a part of this. It was like the perfect thing. Like it happened like perfectly because she didn't want to work anymore anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend, her husband, had basically been preparing to put her in a position where she didn't have to work anymore. So it kind of came at the perfect time. And all I can think about is how many women didn't have a husband that was preparing for his wife to stop working. That's all I could, when I was thinking it, because I know my homeboy was like, well, this just kind of worked out for us. This is perfect because she wanted to be home anyway. So her getting sent home, the government shut down, it worked out perfectly for her. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So she's just gonna sit at home, and whenever the government reopens, she's gonna collect a few more checks and then she's gonna be done. You know what I mean? So it kind of worked out for them. Listen, I don't You have to explain it to me how a group of people can literally be put in a position where you probably have it the easiest and the best, and then say, we don't want that anymore. We would actually prefer to have it as hard as the other people have it, another group of people. We would prefer to have it that way because women have always worked. This is nothing new that women in working is not anything new. They've always worked. But to have the full responsibility of the financial load of the home has not always been theirs. That has not always been theirs. That is of something I would say more recent within the last 30 to 40 years. I don't understand logically how you can say we want 100%. That is like to me, it just doesn't compute. If I were a woman and you're telling me I'm responsible for 20%, I'll take 20% every day of the week and twice on Sunday. I would let you have the 80%. You want some mac and cheese and some collard greens? That's nothing.
Well, let me ask you this on that point. You got a point, but I think the women think that 20%, what they have to do for that 20% is too much for them. I think that's the amount of programming for a lot of women saying, if I got to do anything for this fucking guy, it's too much.
Well, that has come up as a part of the conditioning. One of the things we don't want to talk about is a part of the conditioning has been laziness. That's been a part of the conditioning. Is that, well, the women have gotten lazier because, again, as I stated before, women have always worked. They cleaned houses. They were nannies to people's kids. Like, this isn't them going to work is nothing new. So they were maids. It's nothing new. But there seems to be a increase in laziness. I want to do less. Even with the advent of technology, dishwashers, washing machines, vacuum robots that vacuum, there's still this urge to want to do less. I want to do less work. I want to do more. I just read a study that said that the average woman, 40 years ago had about 30 to 40 hours of household labor within the home. I'm talking about the stay-at-home wives, at about 30 hours of 30 to 35 hours of household labor. That has been cut in half with the advent of technology. And what do we see single stay-at-home wives doing the most? Complaining about the work that's in the home when you have all this technology to help you out now. You don't have to go get a bucket and a press and put the clothes through the press and hang them out on the line. That anymore.
It's crazy. Hey, Jeff, what you got, man? I don't know how much you've seen here, but we're at the tail end of this. But go ahead.
Yeah, if you look in the damn credits, I said, damn it, I missed this one, man.
Well, you can go back on the replay because at the beginning, right? I mean, real quick before you go, the premise is that women don't need men until they do, and it's something innately natural about a woman who sees the usefulness in a man that she wants to have around her. So my theory is that every woman who has men around them, whoever that man might be, whether they're having sex or not, she finds something useful in that man, or else he wouldn't be in her rotation or her orbit. And I think that goes for even married people. And it's not nefarious. I think it's something about women with security and this and that. And I think a lot of programming was put on the Black woman to strip that natural inkling out to where they think they didn't need a man at all for nothing. And they said it so much and so many times that we are where we are today. And now the winter's here, they're starting to see, well, maybe that programming wasn't true. Go ahead.
Well, I think the here-ness of this winter, in my opinion, it does away for those who will let it. It does away with a ton of complaining. It does away with a ton of discontent and disagreement. Y'all have been hearing me say it. When the shit hit the fan, cats like Trey, like myself, like yourself, are capable men that other capable men will have no choice but to find and work with. You don't have a choice. It's that or perish. In those capable men, with this glutton of women, how many women do you think Trey gonna have that he responsible for? That he got to hear noise, that he got that you know what your problem is, always got something funky in their mouth, don't want to help, because you know what's out there for you? The cold prairie and them can't fix a flat, can't write in cursive, can't count change ass niggas you raised. That's what's going to happen, is that these niggas that are worthless are going to get with these women who are senseless, and they are going to fill the body bags. That's how this goes. And if I'm wrong, Nostradamus is wrong, the Bible is wrong, the Book of the Dead is wrong. This is what we're doing. And that's what I don't understand about black men, is angrily spectating. I don't get it. I think when you hear, shout out to Crimson Cure, the sister is the return of Big Mama. That's the return of Big Mama. That's what's coming back. The rest of these chicks that don't think like that, we're supposed to collect them and collectively dismiss them. This is how you think. These are the people who are co-signing your bullshit. So you and them, we can push out the way so we can find the worthy women. And I just don't think black men are there yet.
Oh, well, I can agree
It's
with
not
that.
about them.
Yeah, Uncle Jeff, I call those men you talk, I call them ninjas. No income, no job, no assets.
You know, hey man, I tell you. But there's a couple of clips of this thing, Jeff. If we get back to it near the end, where I had this one lady, she's a young lady who said it all about how women view men in terms of the usefulness. Because she has 5 or 6 guys in her rotation, so you can go back and look at that. Other than that, man, I don't know. I mean, I said what I had to say. I just think that the ending on this little thing, kind of focusing on the black woman and how they've lost their way. Hey, well, shit, man, I gotta eat a man. Okay, you know what? I can't leave now because this fucking guy's here. You know, what's going on, eat a man? What's happening?
How y'all doing today?
Yeah, man, what's up, man? All right, man, we're doing all right.
Not
I don't know how
much.
much this you caught, man. So
I ain't catch none of it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I just opened, closed the doors of my business. So, 2 seconds ago.
I think I owe Either Man some money because I said America would have changed its name by now, but it looks like I'm about a year off. So, because I can remember when I was Captain Doomsday to a bunch of people just about a year ago. Does anybody remember?
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, I remember.
In the chat, niggas was Uncle Jeff always on some dude of fear and blah blah. Okay, I'd like to hear from those people now.
Oh well, you always hear from there.
If any of you in the chat, I'm glad this is a video. Those of you in the chat back in the day that talked that shit about me because I was talking about fear and doom and gloom and getting yourself together now and clanning up with people and learning how to shop communally and getting the people who know what they doing. And I was all Mr. Doomsday. Why don't you speak the fuck up? Why don't you back what you typed? Because you did type that I was on some doomsday shit. What am I on now? I'll take that. Why don't you let me know what I'm on now? And you know who you are. And if you can't in the next 72 hours, at least in the comments in here, just know when you look in the mirror, just know that everywhere you stay is somebody that ain't shit in your bathroom. Go in there and look.
So good. Great, man. Go ahead.
I don't know. Like I said, I just got here, so I know Uncle Jeff always saying this the end of the world. Make sure I get my ammo, and I built my bunker within the last year. Listening to Uncle Jeff, so we put a bunker in the ground. This for real. Like we decided we was gonna get a bunker, so we gonna go hide away, and we hope y'all.
I don't know if I told you to do all that.
And then we gonna come back. You know, that's what we've been doing. We ain't been investing in stocks. We've been building bunkers. It's a real thing. So yeah, I think everybody should have a bunker. By the way, that's side note.
Well, is that what you thought a year and a half ago?
No,
when did you change?
I didn't think that. I just thought that Uncle Jeff might. I didn't think that I needed a bunker, and then somebody gave me the opportunity to have me one of these bunkers, and I said, if everything go well, at least we got oxygen for at least 7 years, and we can just come back and see if the world has figured this stuff out in 7 years. If it's
it
not,
depends. It depends on the disaster, because the truth is, once you build a bunker, you just started a countdown timer to when you're going to run out of supplies, because no bunker is infinite.
Oh, yeah. 7 years. I know I got 7 years. Listen, see, Uncle Jeff, I understand that I got 7 years. I've been intermittent fasting. I changed my life where I only eat 6 hours a day, 6 blocks. And so I can live in my bunker, and we found ways that I'm in the process of doing a 30-day fast. So I understand that I would have to do, hold on one second.
Oh my God. And when he comes back, man, this is pretty funny. I think he's still talking to somebody, either, man, or you back? Okay, he's still on there. Hey, listen, man. This is
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead and finish that.
I locked the door with my business. Let me lock that door. Give me 1 second.
All right. Hey, man, listen, I don't mind this little segue in here. My man in his bunker. Are we buying the story that Either Man is trying to give us now? Is he trying to placate you, Jeff?
Well, it's not beneath him to do so. But whichever way he's going, it's his words to stand on. Because
we're at the 30-day fast, Either Man.
So you gotta get to the point. Uncle Jeff said I need to make sure that I understand how my body works after 30 days without having food, to make sure that I still can be able to get out that bunker and stab in case we gotta go to cannibalists and start eating humans, you know what I'm saying? Kill them, bring them into it. But no, but on the topic, do I think it's the end of the world? No. Do I think that we're restructuring some things? Yes. Do I think that you wish you had your stuff financially taken care of? Yeah. I think we're seeing strongly that it's people, and I agree with some things that Uncle Jeff said. Like, I understand that I should not have my money in a paper state. I should invest in gold, silver, different things, because once I get out of my bunker in 7 years, I think gold will still have its value, right? I think that silver still, and if it doesn't have its value, I promise you it'll be more valuable than that paper that people got, right?
So we got final thoughts up here. I guess BM, you put that up there. I don't think I did, but anyway,
gold will never, ever. Gold and silver don't lose value because of what it is they can be used for. Niggas only think jewelry. They don't think space. They don't think space parts. They don't think weapons. They don't think calibration materials. There is so much that can't get done without gold. You don't go. You don't fly a space shuttle without gold. You don't fly a helicopter or an airplane without gold.
So, but let's go back, because I thought the topic was, I know where y'all guys are at, and we're gonna end it with final thoughts. I just want to say, so when y'all guys are saying that women need men, are y'all talking about from a community level, or y'all talking from an individual level?
Well, let me start with the topic. I said women don't need men until they do, and then we got into the beginning of the topic is that it's a natural inclination for women to find men useful. And if we're not useful to them, they have no need for us. And that's what we talked about for a lot of this. And then we kind of segued at the end for a small period of time saying, well, what happened to the Black woman and her natural inclination to need men? Well, it was programmed out of her for years, telling her that she doesn't need any men. From the single baby bomberhood, from all the ways they just completely programmed themselves to say, I can get through life without a ninja, no matter how good he is. And now we even got those videos now. I had a good man, but he's still not good enough. And it's put them in. It's wait. Let me just finish. So I think, other than a lot of other women who still understand the need to be covered by a man, a certain segment of Black women have lost faith in that natural inclination. That's just my theory, and that's what we were talking about.
So, but are you talking about when? So, can we agree that the Black woman feel that she need the white man?
I think all women think they need white men.
Okay, so
But that's not the answer to the question.
Yeah, the answer is I think a lot of them do. Yes, I think if we had to give me the majority, maybe whether they won't pursue them or not, I think a lot
No,
of.
I'm not talking romantically. Let's remove the
Oh,
sex
okay,
part
yeah,
of it.
yeah.
Okay,
The answer
I'm
is
saying
yes. I think the answer is yes. Then
so
my answer to your question is yes.
so when Black women in general say that they don't need men, they're typically talking about their group of men. They feel like
Oh.
the other groups of men, like white men, they live in this world that they believe the white man will protect them. The white man will make the laws. The
No.
white man will provide jobs for them. Do we agree on that point, right?
Yes, I
So,
do.
Sure.
so it's not an attack on men per se. It's more of an attack of saying that they don't need Black men because
Oh
they
no,
feel
that's
like,
what maybe if I left Black out, I meant to say Black men.
yeah, I,
Okay,
I, I think I think they're absolutely right.
okay.
Now, do I think it's a day that in Uncle Jeff world that the white men would turn? Absolutely.
What do you mean?
Uh, I believe that if it came down to this Halo world, I like to call it Halo. I watched the whole series. If it comes down to
So
Halo,
did I.
I think that the white people be loyal to their kind.
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
I don't think you even have to go that far. Uh, that's the difference in the women's movement between Black women and white women. White women understand that the color come first. Black women are not black first; they women first. See what happened with Ice Cube? What
I remember that.
generally I don't need a man comes from with Black women in modern society is they don't like being told shit. This is that's where what it is that those women you're talking about that are without covering, if they're going to get covering by default, they're gonna have to leave that stank ass hyena energy out there on the cold prairie if
But
they're
they're
gonna
not.
come back.
But they
What's
do
that?
got covering. They do got
If y'all just agree that Black women believe that they don't need Black men, why are we covering them?
No, brother. No, that's what I'm saying. I don't believe Crimson Cure thinks that way. I don't believe my wife or my sister-in-law or I don't. I believe there is a huge. This is who the body bags are for. This is
But me as a single man, why would I take the time to decipher who's who? Wouldn't it be easier for me to just put them all in one group and just keep it moving?
It would absolutely. It's a lot easier for me. It's a lot easier for me to pull a tooth than it is to fill it. Yeah. I understand what you're saying, but unless and we have to start here. Let's make sure we're all on the same page. I love Black women. I cherish Black women. I respect Black women who love, cherish, and respect themselves. And that is a group of women. This is why it's so hard for me. There's 3 women, brother, 3 women that really changed my views on Black women. My mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and my wife. Because they on some of that Diane, Carolina Horn, that shit. They're classy colored broads. They exist. Do I not agree with you, Trey? Is some heifers that need to be marched to the edge of the earth and kicked the fuck off. And what I'm saying is that society is doing just that. You are going to have, this is my prediction for you, Trey. At phase 1.5 or 2, we're at ground zero. At phase 1.5 or 2 of what's next, you, Trey, will have your pick of the following: attractive, pleasant, useful, and compliant. Oh, and classy. You'll have your pick of that, brother. And all of them will understand that they have to share you. And the only people mad at the words that just came out of my mouth It's horrible black women, the women who defend horrible black women, and the sons of the women of horrible black women. Everybody else understand. And you can like that or don't. You can get mad, blow up, and bust. I don't give a shit. Tell me that the outside don't look like what I just described.
Yeah, I guess where I come from, because I agree with you when you talk about your mother-in-law and sister-in-law. The women you described, that's my grandmother and my mother. I didn't even know what a weave was until I got to 8th grade because I'd never
Come
seen
on.
them before. Because the women in my family wear their natural hair. I had no idea. I just thought women hair was just magically growing overnight. I had one girl, I remember, Uncle Jeff, I asked the girl, I said, how'd your hair get so long? She said berries and bananas, and me as green as I was, I believed her. I was like, oh, okay. You put berries
Wow.
and bananas in your hair, and your hair
Is that
grows.
the same? Is that the same stuff Prince Hakeem was using?
Yeah, because I had never seen this. I grew up from women that didn't even curse and wouldn't even raise their voice.
Come on, bro.
And barely wore makeup. You know what
That's
I mean?
what-
And wouldn't be caught dead outside of the house in a bonnet and all this. They wouldn't
Come
be
on.
caught dead. So I get exactly where you're coming from. I think where guys like me struggle is when that day does come, I got to make a decision. And I'm gonna tell you who's gonna be on that list, and it's a very short list.
Come on, expose me.
My grandmother, my mother, my sister, my daughter.
Bruh.
It's a short list.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What I'm saying to you is that gold standard that you have set for women, you don't have to sacrifice, brother. You got to be this tall to ride this ride or join the cold prairie, join the horde. It's that simple. They're going to be at the gates with bloody knuckles. They're gonna,
Okay.
What do you think about Uncle Jeff, about guys like me who have just gotten to the point where we don't want to deal with them at all? Like, I don't worry about having to use. Don't worry about having to use me. I'm not available for use.
period.
You don't have to worry about it.
Here's what I think about you. I think that anybody who has a problem with you, that is a black female, that is not willing to look at the fact that you watched your fathers and uncles go through what they mamas and aunties put them through in order for you to get here, I think that they deserve whatever they get. I think if they are not willing to disavow that poisonous 20th century American Western black woman attitude, if they are not going to abandon it, you don't have to put up with it in any way, shape, or form. Because I told the sister this last week, and her friend's faces just dropped to the floor. They were talking about her friend that got married. I'll say this, I'll shut up. I said, y'all want monogamy, right? Hell yeah, I want monogamy. I said, well, do you understand that your girl getting married has just sentenced 16 of you to a life with no black man? That's what the math says.
Okay, I get it. All right, so you guys think that and I might be misquoting it. I'm late to the show, right? So what I'm hearing is, Trey, just wait a little bit longer. The world's gonna destruct in a couple times, and your perfect woman gonna be there. That's kind of the thing that we're painting, that we want single men to believe. Right, Uncle Jeff?
That you're no, well, all I'm struggling with a few of the words. If you'd like, I can clean that up.
Yes, sir.
The world, if it, without playing with yourself, without social masturbation, we can easily say that the American economy is crumbling as we speak. In the superpower reshuffle, every other woman on the earth has her man, except the European thinking North American black woman. And right now, so many of her men are leaving the continent she's on. They have a nickname. In that scenario, especially if Isaiah 4 is to be believed, you will see women, as times get harder, clamoring to have a man in general and a black man specifically. And if I'm wrong, then read Isaiah 4
No,
and
no,
explain it to me.
no.
Not
We
you.
get it. No, we get it. No, no. I get
That's
what
what
you're
I'm
saying.
saying. I didn't say
No,
nothing about the war. Let me get it.
no.
Let me
I
make it
get
very
it.
clear. I got to get ahead of your hyperbole, bro. I'm not saying the world is coming to an end because I never believed that. I'm saying the end of a way of being is here. And in that end, the Black woman does not have her man the way the Armenian, the Korean, the Jewish, or the Japanese woman does. And because of that, and because of the very mathematics that we are outnumbered by 2 million by them, they will bend the knee or they will die in the cold prairie. That's what I'm saying.
Well, they're already been the knee.
Oh,
They've already. But here's the
Hey,
only
but
thing I
before
disagree
you,
with
okay, go ahead.
Jeff. Only thing I disagree with you on this is I do think that because we're not coming to that sort of doomsday Book of Eli type ending, that they have decided to sell the coochie instead. That's the ending for them because the number of women who have decided to go that route has exponentially.
What do you mean? The
prostitution.
Well, that's the oldest.
Well, no. I'm saying because of the economy and because of the lack of I'm saying because I don't think we're going Book of Eli style doomsday. I think that because of the economy and where it is, what you see a lot of women starting to resort to is the oldest profession, which is like I'm going to sell myself now. The numbers are astronomically increasing, and that's something.
Well, I see something different. That's why I was trying to understand Uncle Jeff's theory before I tell what I see.
Oh, go ahead. What did you see?
I see women now exercising group economics more than ever within the women. Right now, I know that sounds crazy.
No, it doesn't.
So I think women.
I just don't think it's. I don't think it's going to do them any good. But go ahead.
Let them finish, Jeff.
Yeah. So what I'm seeing now is, hey, check this out. People are losing their job. Women are still able to get jobs at this stage, right? At zero. We don't know what phase 3, 4 is, right? And I'm seeing, and this could be in a little bubble, women saying, hey, it's not that I need a man. I need to be partnered with somebody else. So I see friends, cousins, mamas. I see them moving in together at this stage of their life to be able to combine their income to be able to provide for their kids. So you got
It's in the Golden Girls thing. It's they can't stand each other though.
Okay. I think there's.
Good. I mean,
so you're seeing,
no. I thought he was
you're seeing a survival tactic.
Right.
Absolutely. So the question is,
I don't even know why he's bringing it up.
No. I can tell you why I'm bringing it up. So because what you were saying is that women gonna be able to have to come to the table and say, hey, for me to survive, I have to have a man. And I think that's not gonna actually be the answer going forward. They gonna realize that they can't do it by themselves. They need another human being. And I'm removing the sex aspect to it. Cool. All right, you can go have sex, whatever. I mean, from group economics, I think in this season we're gonna see women doing more group economics, staying together, and kids together, taking turns around the rows in the house. I think they still gonna have they still gonna be selling the coochie like Trey said.
How far down am I? How far down am I?
But either man, who's more useful? If a woman had to choose between me and another woman, who you think she's gonna choose?
Another woman.
Another woman?
No. She's
I
gonna
know,
choose
Trey.
me.
I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds crazy, but
what he's discussing,
if her survival is dependent on another woman, she's saying she would choose the woman first, so she would just die. She's sensing her.
Trey, let me add to that. Let me add to that before he goes. I think I understand where he's coming from. The women are so broken that they think they can circumvent their natural order of things by just being with another woman.
They can.
I think their mentality is they think they can.
Yeah, so you can't tell them that they got to see for themselves that it's a failed.
Let me.
The proverbial shit hits the fan. They're going to they're going to default to men.
They'll eventually come back to that.
Can I do this
Go
again?
Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead.
Just one more time, either man. I've done it. I've done it to you already, and jumped ahead of you with regard to gold, silver, and land, and with regard to the state of America where it is right now. Which, to be honest with you, it's unfair to say that I predicted it 2 years ago. I predicted it 12 years ago. If you go back and listen to me on Jamie Foxx's show on the Foxhole, I was talking about now, and I got less and less crazy as time goes by. So again, I'm going to jump out into the future and tell you that communing females around a dollar is going to abjectly fail, because the dollar is about to abjectly fail. This is what I'm trying to tell you. You're exactly right about these women grouping together. I believe Isaiah 4 covers that. Now, unless you, and perhaps, and I'm just using it because it's the spiritual watering hole around which most people gather, the Bible. Okay, and I'm okay if it's not your choice of religious publication, but according to that one, and according to all of these women that you discuss, and any of them that get dressed up on Sunday and still go to church, Isaiah 4, I snuck and put it in all their Bibles last night. And it's not going to change because they've decided to live under one roof. Have you, bruh?
No. So what I'm saying is, so I believe people don't understand what's truly coming with AI. Let me say that, right? I've been studying AI and what AI is doing. I don't think people in general are ready for what AI. I think I read a report that it's going to be close to 150 million jobs replaced in the next, we talking give or take 10 years, right?
10 years, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So I understand it. And the biggest thing is you still have to understand how to cipher resources, right? And I know people don't like when I compare things to animals, right? One of the strongest groups on earth is a group of female lions. They hunt together, they move together. Like this idea that humans can't move in that way is an interesting point of view. And I know most people say, well, every pride got a king, which is the main lion. I just think that it's two different groups that we're talking about. We're talking about the group of women that's like Uncle Jeff's wife, right? And I'm using your wife because you brought them up, right?
Sure.
It's the group of women that's going to cleave to men. And it's some women that I believe are so far gone, they're gonna have to figure out a way to survive without having men. And I truthfully and honestly believe that pussy's still gonna have the power of the earth. They're gonna be able to go and get water, food, and all these things because they got a vagina, and
Okay.
and they still gonna be able to group economics together by doing what Trey said, being able to bring in resources. And let's take away money, because I want you to think that we're talking about that the only way they're gonna be able to do this is with money, right? I want you to think that they're gonna be able to go change. I'm trying to say they're gonna be able to go over there in that hut and sleep with that dude and come back with chickens and eggs.
Okay,
Listen.
congratulations. You've just described handmaidens and whores.
Yeah,
That's
they're
cool.
already doing it. That's it. Literally what they're doing now.
I don't know what part. I don't know, and that's where sometimes we bump heads, either man. I don't know what you brought the show here for that.
No. So
Your
let me
women.
connect the
There are
dots for you.
women. Okay, hold
Okay.
on. Let me make sure I got this right. There are women who are living in a way and have found a way to live without men at all. And these women are going to find a way to commune together. And when they need something, they're going to have sex with men to get it. I think that kind of sums up what I heard. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Sure.
Okay, well then
So you guys are in violent agreement. So let's okay, but here's the thing. Hey, Braxton, I don't know if you have anything.
I don't think we are.
Say hello about the woman. Well,
The reason we're in disagreement because what I'm saying is gainfully going against what he said earlier about saying that these single men gonna have the pick of the litter. They're gonna have 10 or 15.
Let's take away that part, either man. I hear you on that part, but the end result's still the same. The women are going to use their box to get what they want, whether they commune with each other or not. That's what they're going to do.
And then most men
And
ain't
they're
gonna be able to
already
get bucks
doing,
because
and
they
a
not
lot
gonna
of them
have
are already
resources.
doing it. All right. So,
Either man. Oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry.
and then before we go anymore, hey Braxton, you had anything to say? Hello to the panel, whatever. What you got? Or are you just hanging out? We can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Mute Monster kicking his ass right now.
Yeah. What's up, Braxton?
Yeah, finally. All right, I finally unmuted myself. But good evening and salute to everybody in the chat and here on the panel. But well, my own 2 cents on it is for if and most likely when things fall in this country. Now, as far as women, as far as the women saying that either they don't want men or they don't need men, well, like some of them are literally in between, like not being sure if they want or need men or not. And the other one, and on the other part of their group is the ones who are like, well, the ones who are like done with men, fed up with them, hate them, blah blah blah. But still, deep down inside, like a part of them still is going to tell them, no matter whatever your feelings are, those are just feelings. Your feelings is not going to override the fact that you're going to forever need men. That's the way it's been throughout the dawn of time, point blank, period. So now for the ones who has kids, I'm only going to feel sorry for the kids, because if something does happen, in this nation, the kids are not going to be safe, and neither are the women, because why? Women are not protectors, they are the protected.
But the
So
men
where
are
they
not gonna be
come,
safe either. Like I don't know why we think men are absolved from this. Men, if
The
something happened,
men are not
everybody got a
looking.
problem.
Men are not looking for absolution. Men,
Well,
I don't know. I don't know where.
yeah,
I don't know where we get this disconnect that in a time of crisis, the usefulness and the manpower of man to woman is 50-50, but that's what it sounds like you're trying to sell me, and I'm gonna have to call bullshit on that.
No. So, and I want to give it back to Braxton. So don't let Braxton finish because me, and you, I'm gonna tell you what I disagree because I don't think you understand where I disagree yet. Go ahead, Braxton. Finish up. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
I know it's fine. But yeah, but anyways, as I was saying, is that they are not the women, well, especially children, because why? Those are kids, they're naturally are defenseless. But as for the women, like I said, they're not going to be safe, and what they're going to do now, instead of them going to try to find other groups of women to keep them safe, no, that's not going to happen. What are they going to do? They're going to resort back to their natural instinct. They're going to find a man or a group of men to help them stay safe, help them stay sheltered, clothed, have food, etc. So my thing is that they, for the women who are like that, not all of them, but for the ones who are like that, they cannot run from or escape or try to block like their natural, I guess, like their natural feeling for survival of being dependent on somebody else, which is a man. They just can't.
Yeah, so that's my so I'm disagreeing upon that. See, this idea, and this is I disagree with Uncle Jeff on a different point, but you brought up a point that I feel that he was making, right? The world goes to crap, right? It's zombie apocalypse, right? Without the zombies, right? Everybody think that the women are gonna run to the men. Most of the women are gonna be wiped off the earth. The ones that's not covered. Listen, I know it sounds crazy, but the first thing gonna happen, the women that's uncovered, is gonna be wiped off the earth. And then the women that are uncovered, that's not, I think they actually gonna be running closer to the men that already have sustained women, married men, right? And
Yes.
okay, so this idea that all these single dudes now about to have a whole bunch of pick of the litter, I'm tying it all together for you, Uncle Jeff. This idea that now the single dudes who didn't have no women is about to have the pick of the litter. No, Uncle Jeff gonna have 20 more. Edom Man
No.
Williams gonna have 20 more.
Here's
Payne gonna have 20 more. That's the only point that I made.
Here and as you make that point, brother, here's the flaw in it. Because guess what else Payne gonna have? The ear of single young men. He didn't. Payne didn't accidentally get to his age. Look at all the shit Payne dodged. That's gonna count again. Wisdom will count again, and when it does, we have to procreate to develop a species.
But most of the young men gonna be wiped out too. Like I'm talking about the world we came from. The world we came from.
Edom Man, is it okay if we get to what's left?
Okay, what's left? Okay, we at the point where what's left. So what's left? Now all the hyenas gone, right? Everything, all that gone. Now we already have the women who's already thinking that they needed a man. In the world that I'm saying, the women who think that they don't need a man won't be here when the apocalypse comes.
Okay, what I'm telling you is that nothing is going to cut clean. It's going to look like this. Those who are savable, who are salvageable mentally, are going to drop this stupid shit and get their shit together and get with an intelligent, peaceful, grounded, useful, spiritual man. I ain't talking about no bums. I ain't talking about some dude get the fuck who he want all the time. It's none of that. I'm talking about what it's going to take to move forward. Then,
whether he's married or not.
No. Let's stop right there, right? Because you said these women don't qualify, and this not you saying, but the space says these women don't qualify if they got kids, right?
What?
So they don't qualify for the covering of men.
No. I never said that.
Well, I'm saying that's the sentiment in this space.
No. Forget about the sentiment in this space. Let's talk about what it is. I mean, let's talk about what it is. I mean, a lot of these women are going to have kids,
and that's not the worst thing in the world.
So Trey got to take some kids.
No, that will.
He doesn't necessarily have to be taking those kids.
Yeah. That's what I'm telling you. Hold on, he do.
No, he doesn't.
If you paint in the picture that most women got kids, most of them got to take with kids. Just because the apocalypse happened, their situation with kids ain't changed.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take one more stab at it, and then it's just clear.
Because either man wants to argue, man.
He's too smart to not be getting this.
That's what I'm saying.
Nothing breaks perfectly. What's going to happen is that there are going to be some good women who have children that are going to go into situations with other people where they're going to have to come into this situation, be fruitful, and when it comes time, shut the fuck up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree. No, we agreed that the women going to shut up in the apocalypse. But I don't think it's nobody on earth disagree when the apocalypse happens, when it's here. Everybody gonna be quiet. It's only gonna be a certain group of men talking, and it's gonna be the men who was built that way.
Okay.
People.
I don't know why. I don't know why you always do this. I want to talk about them separately, either man, if we could. Is it okay? Let me know when it's okay to just talk about women and quit piling other people in. Is that time now?
Yes.
Okay.
But we agree about that part. Everybody falling in line. Because it's the apocalypse.
Okay, well, no.
Well, women are falling in line.
We don't agree. We don't agree, and here's why. For the same reason that I give when people go, well, what do men got to do? Not a goddamn thing. Because the good men been doing it. You just ain't fucked them for it. It's been good black men. It's been good black men since the beginning of time. It's good black men that have been doing what they supposed to do, standing on business, being where they supposed to be. Them wasn't the ones y'all fuck first. So they don't have to do shit.
All right, so gentlemen, you know what? We can keep this one going.
Let me land it here, there, Arplane, and
Yes,
this will be
please.
my final statement.
Okay.
What I'm telling you is, Arplane, I can go into the worst of the hood. I can get the most ghetto, the most ratchet, the one that you think is all the problem. In the
Okay.
apocalypse, she's acting right, Arplane. Listen, she's acting right. She's getting on that page because at the end of the day, she don't want to die. If she's willing to do anything, she's willing to suck what cock she needs to do. Listen, I'm just trying to help you understand. In that time, everybody act right.
That's
all.
Okay.
Well, your last words there. Go ahead. Your last words there, Uncle Jeff. Go ahead.
A bullfrog can hold his breath for 4 hours. In that scenario of the woman you discussed, she's going to find herself face to face with herself in a society that no longer puts up with her. So the minute that she pop off too rough for the rules that where she is at, she won't be there no more. There will be women who will be ushered back out into the cold prairie. There won't be no faking, because the faking will get you killed. The inability to follow instruction that you don't like will end your life. I'll say this and I'll land the plane. Women ask for a leader. Well, a leader is the person you pick to tell you no. The coach tells the players no, there's a curfew. The general tells the troops, no, we're on full alert, you can't go. The leader is the person you pick to tell you no. And if can't nobody tell you no, you finna get it from God, sis. I'm done.
All right, Braxton, you got anything? Or are you good?
Yes, sir, I do. Well, my closing statement is okay. Y'all want to know why women are gonna forever need men? It's because men needs men. Us as guys knows that we need each other. Point blank. Period. And if something does happen, whether if America falls or the whole world falls, even though society would have been, I guess, in ruins and shambles, tribes throughout the world are still gonna operate patriotically. Because why? Men, they build, because they build, maintain, and protect and guide. So even in a fallen world, the men are still going to be doing what they are supposed to do naturally, and the women are going to follow along to that. And when other men when a man is in another man's tribe, from whichever color, ethnicity, whatever, even sexual orientation, even they still have to do what those group of men say, because like I said, women needs men and men needs men. When men are around each other, they still have to follow what another man says. They have to operate accordingly to what that man or group of men says, because even as men, we do what we are told to do by each other, and that's just fact. And also, the last thing I'll say is this might exit me from the conversation, but Black women can go and do what they do, because my preference and my choice has always been, well, the Beckys and men leaves, and I'm just fine with that. And those are my last words.
Okay. Hey, listen, man. This is a nice little segue, because it seems like we might a little be off topic, but not really. I still say that, in the end, women are going to need what men have to provide. However you want to slice that. And I think that's not going to. I think they've lost their way, and in the apocalypse, they're going to have to find it. Now, there's going to be some belligerent chicks who ain't going to want to bend towards it, and they're going to be left out in the cold. They just are, even if they got good pussy. So anyway, man. Well, next time you the man, we would come up. You got to come up earlier. So when
I will come up. But great show. I just want to say shout out to this show.
But with that, man, thanks for everybody participating in the chat. Everybody coming over, Braxton, all the guys, Trey. Hey, let's get out of here. Now I'm gonna hit this end stream. Sometimes the music comes on, and sometimes it's a hard stop, man. So with that, good night, everybody.